The first look at the thing from Fantastic Four First Steps just leaked, and of course it's dividing the internet.
Ryan Reynolds just gave us more evidence that Channing Tatum's Gambit will be making a comeback, but will it be in a solo movie?
We also get our first look at Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog, and yeah, Team Sonic is screwed.
And finally, we get our first look at Jurassic World Rebirth. Am I optimistic? Kind of, but I was also very optimistic about Dominion.
My name is Jermaine, that's Anthony, and this is In Case You Missed It for the week of August 26th.
All the stories will be timestamped in the description down below.
Images of the thing from Fantastic Four First Steps have just leaked online, and let's just say it started some conversation. It seems like they're going for more of a practical effect like we saw in the 2000s Fantastic Four, opposed to the fully CGI thing that we saw in Fan4stick in 2015. It also looks like they're going for a more comic book accurate version of the thing, instead of doing their own thing. Thing.
Pause.
Whether you're a fan of practical or CGI, it does seem to me that Marvel is kind of doing a little bit of both. We know that Marvel usually has stand-ins for other characters, and then they put CGI over it, akin to Rocket Raccoon. One thing I don't want people to do is freak out the way they did about David Cornsweat's Superman suit. We all know that these leaks are not what we're going to see on the big screen. Now, if it's garbage in the first trailer, light them up!
This past week, Ryan Reynolds uploaded a scene from Deadpool and Wolverine where we see Channing Tatum's Gambit back in the void and seemingly getting visited by or rescued by someone with a sling ring. Remember, Channing Tatum's Gambit movie was in development for over a decade until it ultimately was canned. Even though it felt like his character was played more for laughs than to be taken seriously, he is a fan favorite in the billion-dollar movie. Can I see him getting his own movie in the MCU? 10,000% absolutely not. However, can I see him being adapted into Secret Wars and X-Men? Honestly, yeah, and I'm here for it.
Keanu Reeves officially joins the Sonic universe as Shadow the Hedgehog in the first trailer for Sonic 3, and he is single-handedly giving Team Sonic that work. Sonic universe, Nintendo universe, no, none of that. The SCU, you heard it here first. The SCU. Mwah. With Shadow's ability to teleport, keep up with Sonic's speed, and overpower Knuckles, he's gonna be such a big problem that Team Sonic even had to go recruit Dr. Robotnik. When you look back on where this franchise started with the first Sonic design, it's kinda crazy to actually think we're in a third movie right now. I mean, Jim Carrey even keeps coming out of retirement, and if this movie is successful, he will be back for Sonic 4. Because I mean, what are they gonna do when they have to go up against Chaos?
And for the last story, Jurassic World Rebirth. Am I optimistic? Yes. But I was also optimistic about Dominion, and my optimism was dashed to pieces. Honestly, I hope that the cast full of stars doesn't detract from the story. The amount of dinosaurs we get to see on screen or any of that. For its flaws, Dominion did give us a lot of dinosaurs. Basically, the synopsis they gave us kind of goes through traveling to an island, meeting other survivors that somehow got stranded on the island, and they're in a jungle environment, which is honestly pretty cool. So it kind of puts me in the mindset of maybe some of the old film or adaptations of canned, information from the first two movies or first three movies and some of the books maybe. Something else of note, none of the cast from the last three movies are in this. This is a completely new cast. Scarlett Johansson, it's got Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey.
You just said all those people, but you didn't say Owen. Chris Pratt, the leader.
He's not in this one. He's not in this one, him or Bryce Dallas Howard.
Would you want to see him in it?
Honestly, I think they had a good run. Their on-screen chemistry, his acting, they did really good. He plays a good, action hero, tough guy type. He did a good job. But I honestly just think it's time to move on. You can be mad all you want. I'm sorry. You can go back and watch reruns of Parks and Rec if you want Chris Pratt.
This has been the headlines for the week. Now we're going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory for all the stories that we had. So, all right, first we had the first look of Fantastic Four. What do you think about the Thing leaks?
I kind of like it when they make the costumes and the characters look like they did in the comics, you know? It's just like, instead of them trying to make it ultra realistic, they make it as absurd as it was on the panels. That's pretty cool to me.
However, I do wonder, are they letting these things leak on purpose?
To get people's feedback or gauge the temperature of
or to just say, hey,
okay.
this is that, leave us alone.
I've wondered about that for quite a while, if some of these leaks are done purposefully like that.
Well,
you know, and I do understand that the fans like to jump in and sensationalize a lot of things. I get it.
They I don't know if he actually did it, but Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy from Deadpool and Wolverine said they were actually leaking things.
False leaks and whatnot. Yeah, I saw that.
James Marsden was dressed up as the classic Cyclops in The Void. I don't know if he actually did that, or I don't know if it, but it looked glorious. I mean, but he wasn't in it.
I imagine they do shoot a lot of B-roll and stuff like that. I know specifically from like a lot of the Jurassic movies, they shot a lot of things they didn't use. You know, different set pieces and stuff that were never used and whatnot. So they have to be doing that over at Marvel.
All right, so I think we're both just wait until we see the trailer.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm more concerned with corny dialogue than I am with absurd costumes, if I'm being honest.
That's fair.
So.
All right, next story. Channing Tatum's Gambit. How are we feeling about? I think we all can.
I don't mind it. I don't mind how silly it is.
Do you need anything to say, Kelsey?
The comedic approach.
I feel let it roll. Like,
yeah.
He's the interview where he was talking about how he's been trying to push this for years and years and years. And
over 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
let him.
I will actually watch it.
It might turn out well.
Yeah.
And the fact that he nailed the accent perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was played for laughs, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
His accent alone literally was a flashback to the cartoon.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. It was flawless, and without working character, it looked more natural for him to be Gambit than anybody else. In my opinion,
he does play a funny role, anyways. You know, he does it well too. You know,
he's a goofy. He plays a goofy or what's it called? Well, in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
21, 22.
That character.
I can't say.
What's your name?
He had his choreography as Gambit had to be apart from the van and car scene. His choreography as Gambit had to be some of the best choreography. Of the.
It just looked natural. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, so I can see him.
It was a good addition to the movie.
No movie,
sure,
though.
Yeah.
No movie.
I don't know.
There's not going to be a movie.
Maybe
about
not.
Gambit. There's not going to be a movie about Gambit.
There might not be, but let's think of all the silly ones they did. Remember Days of Future Past? They've done. There's been.
No, we're talking about. But this is the MCU now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right. Days of Future Past was one of the best X-Men movies. Probably.
Which one? No, which one was it? The one with what's his name at the very end? Armageddon at the very end.
Apocalypse.
That one sucked.
No, well, yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, Apocalypse sucked. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Keanu Reeves. Shadow. It went from the original Sonic design to what we have now, and now we have 3 movies. That is insane.
The fans have spoken. That's all you can say about it.
So, here's the thing about this. It's kind of a double-edged sword here. Internet bullying works.
Don't say that too loud. You just made a list somewhere.
Yeah. Finally, quick thoughts on Jurassic World Jurassic World Rebirth. You're the big Jurassic Park fan.
I really hope they don't ruin it. That's all I can say. You know, I'm all for the big scenes and stuff like that, but a lot of the fan service stuff they did in the last one, the Locust, and things that really didn't make too much sense. You know, in my opinion, the source material, the original Crichton books, were so good. You know, they had so much things and so many ideas that they didn't capitalize on in years past. They really have a lot of stuff they can draw from. So I really hope they don't ruin this.
It just feels to me. I think I love Scarlett Johansson. I love Mahershala Ali. I feel like he's gonna die in this movie from the stills that we saw. Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Well, guess what? At least he has something to hang his hat on because Blade's not happening.
No, but I mean, let's also think Ian Malcolm did the same thing and he didn't die in Jurassic Park 1. You know.
Ooh, a little throwback,
yeah.
little callback.
I feel like it might be a little bit of an Easter egg.
I like it. Right. I don't know.
Like I said earlier, my concern is that I really hope when they start adding big name celebrities and stuff like that, and people that are established, actors and whatnot, into these movies, that it doesn't detract from the actual story.
Story should come first, and then the big name to sell the movie. But story should always be first. This has been In Case You Missed It for the week of August 26th. Don't forget to like, comment, all that stuff
Down below.
and we'll see you next week.